Yo, what's up, guys? Gambling Trades here once again. I got some sauce for y'all. This video is recorded in the same day as the last video. I interviewed NQ Trevor, and he also backtested to show us some insight as a profitable trader.
Yeah, sure. I'm Trevor. I'm 18. I've been trading since I was 14. I'm profitable for like almost 2 years now. Trade smart money concepts, obviously, and I trade specifically off of inverse fair value gaps as my entry model. So yeah, that's me. Pretty simple.
Yeah, because I didn't get his introduction last video, so we have this introduction on this video. Okay. Trevor's gonna be going through some recap or some backtesting to provide insight on how to trade better.
Yeah. I mean, I just finished. I was backtesting. I think it was 2023 or something like that, or whatever. But I just pulled up 2024 here. Started 2024. Just because I mean, I was trading during this time, but I don't remember what the fuck happened almost 2 years ago. So, yeah. What is this? Monday, January 8th, 2024. So first step every day is just daily bias, right? Starting the 4 hour usually for me. I mean, I'll pay attention to the daily a little bit, but primarily the 4 hour. But here I do see an unfilled daily gap. So I swear I do. Yeah. All right. So unfilled daily fair value gap. That's a pretty strong draw on liquidity, and we are, I'm guessing, yeah, we're rejecting off a daily fair value gap on ES. So we have an SMT at this daily gap. So leaning very bullish today for sure, based off of that. Relative equal highs on the 4 hour time frame, and looks like we just inverted this gap on the 1 hour time frame. So leaning super bullish, really nothing in the way of us coming up and hitting this daily gap. Just inverted this 30-minute gap as well. So super bullish bias today. Looks like we have news at 9:30, so that's not going to come into play. So yeah, I don't know. We're above Asia highs on NQ and not on ES, so could create an SMT there, but yeah, I don't know. ES looks like it's lagging a little bit, but NQ looks super bullish. So today I would be hoping for an open low, and then manipulate lower and catch a long, but we will see what the market gives us. We have a 30-minute gap down here. It's also a 15-minute gap, and yeah, that's pretty much all I would really look at for the day. I'll mark out. Yeah, we marked out. This is London low down here. And yeah, we just swept Asia high on NQ. So I don't know if we create an SMT off of this Asia high. I wouldn't mind taking a short to this unfilled hourly gap either. Pretty strong draw on liquidity there. 2 unfilled hourly gaps below. Otherwise, if we don't have an SMT or just not a clean setup, maybe we retrace into one of these hourly gaps and take a long up to this previous day high and daily fair value gap. So we will get right into that and see.
All right.
See what price wants to do for us. Yeah, it looks like we're opening up higher here, so most likely probably just going to move straight up to these highs and not have an entry, but we will see. Might be able to open up a bullish 5-minute and catch a continuation play. We will just have to see.
And you talk about patience, right? Like, always have patience within your trades. Don't always be like too forced, right?
Yeah, because for example, like I said, I'm very bullish right here. I'm expecting this previous day high and the daily fair value gap to get filled, but I'm not just going to enter a long, right? Because there's no setup, there's no entry. So even though my bias is clearly correct so far, I'm not going to force a trade because that's lowers the probability. So we hit previous day high on NQ here. We have not hit it on ES, so creating an SMT there, but we left this daily fair value up above, so I'm definitely not going to look to short yet because we have now relative equal highs with the unfilled daily gap up here. Could look for a continuation long up to that if we're able to open up a 5-minute bullish gap, but it looks like we're going to hit it here. All right, so we're inside of a bearish daily fair value gap now, and we swept out previous day high. So if we can create a bearish SMT here, that would be great, and maybe take a short down to those unfilled 1 hour gaps. So we'll see if we get a reversal. Looks like we are starting to. We'll see. Nothing there yet. See if we invert this 4-minute. Well, we did not invert the 4-minute. Was there 7 a.m. news? No. All right, well, yeah, so we're looking super bullish here. May be able to find some sort of continuation long. Looks like, yeah, we have an unfilled 4 hour gap above. So we could maybe find a continuation play up to that. If not, maybe we can reject off of that. But otherwise, you know, looks like we might just be ripping up all day, so we may not have a trade. And if we don't, that is fine, right? Because every day that you don't give money back to the market is a win.
Exactly.
But we'll see. We're
I like
starting
that.
to, yes sir. We're starting to reject here. That is a 1 minute inverse there. Not honestly, not a horrible setup, but oh shit, what the fuck? Yeah, so we did just invert this 1 minute gap, but we are about to open up or be inside of this 2 minute, and I believe this 3 minute opens up at 7:03. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, this would not be a terrible setup. Let me draw this out. But the one issue here would be, let's see, so we have an SMT at previous day high here and a 1 minute inverse for value up, but the break even point would have to be almost immediately because there's this 2 minute gap down here. So I would not bother taking this trade. But if we can move down and invert those lower gaps, maybe. Well, you see, that's why we don't take that trade. Anyways, see if we can hit this 4 hour gap and get a reversal.
And do you trade during lunch hours or no? Or
no, I don't.
What do you feel about
trade,
that?
I trade up to 11 a.m. So 8
to
a.m.
11 a.m.?
Pacific. I'm on the West Coast.
Oh, I'm on the West Coast as well.
Yeah, I trade from 6:30 to 8. So New York time, that's 9:30 to 11. Nothing after that. I only trade AM session of New York. So yeah, I like the trade when there's more volatility in the markets. Right now we're just consolidating. No real setup here. We're getting real close to this 4 hours, so if we could pull back into this 5 minute gap, I would love to take a long out of it. Otherwise, maybe we can catch a short off of the 4 hour. But all right, we hit the 4 hour there, almost at previous day high on ES, not quite there yet. So would love a reversal now, if ever. But all right, looks like this 4 minute is the highest time frame fair value gap in this leg. So if we can invert this fair value gap here, I would love to take a short, but it's not looking like that is going to happen. So ES hit previous day high there. And did we invert this 1 minute? Let's see. No, we did not. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I probably just wouldn't take a trade here, right? We've just been moving up all day.
Yeah, I see.
No entries for continuation and no reversal, and it's already 7:45. So I don't know if we get a super clear inverse to the downside in the next couple minutes, maybe. But like if we invert this 1 minute, we could maybe take a short and have that be our break even point, right? If we're able to inverse this 1 minute right here, but otherwise, probably just no trade today for me. Reason being, right, I mean, you can see like there just isn't an entry here, right? Like we were really bullish on the day, but we just up nonstop and never had an entry. So yeah, just gotta stick to your rules. Shit happens. Early January is usually a pretty rough time to be trading as well, so can't do much about it, but we'll see. It's a few more minutes before I would not be willing to take a trade. See if we invert this 3 minute. If we do, okay, we are not inside. All right, actually, this might be a solid trade here.
No, there's no SMT. Are you gonna do it at the body, or where are you gonna put this one? Is there SMT or no?
Yeah, I was gonna check after I draw this out to see if there's an SMT at ES. I'm guessing there is at this 1 hour fair value gap that we just tapped, but we will see. So take profit here. Let's see. Ooh, okay. We're actually about to open up an unfilled 15-minute gap at 8 o'clock. I think it's, okay, that is right now. So I don't think I would actually end up taking this trade. We'll see, because we'd have to go break even at the 15-minute, or I mean, you know, that's just the way I would play this. So pretty cooked break even point there, right? Because we're about to open up this bullish 15-minute gap. If I were to take this, probably, I mean, I'd probably target this unfilled 5-minute gap down here.
So how many contracts would you go in if this was a trade that you do less risk? How many, or do you do minis or do you do micros?
I like to trade micros just because I like to have pretty accurate risk. I usually I trade 50K fundeds, and I usually risk around 300 to 350 per trade. So I don't know what that would be for this, but it's I just calculated myself on TradingView when I'm executing. But yeah, this would be an alright setup. But it's so late into market open, and we're right at this 15-minute that, I mean, if we play through that, it's gonna hit that and hit our break even almost definitely. So yeah, not gonna bother taking that. That's why I didn't execute it. But oh well, that's never fun when you go through a whole day like that and don't have an entry. But
now, how do you feel about Asia session and Europe, like trading those sessions?
I definitely do not recommend it if you're trading NQ.
You don't think so?
No, especially Asian session. Definitely stay away from Asian session. That is a very bad idea. London session has an all right amount of its volatility on NQ, but way less on ES, and it's just less volume, less volatility. It lowers your probability. I don't recommend it, to be honest. London session isn't terrible, but Asian session is terrible. So if you can't trade New York for some reason, you could maybe trade London, but if you are able to trade New York session, just trade New York session. Stick to one session, focus on that, kick it at that, and that will be a lot a much better use of your time than trying to trade multiple sessions and shit like that. Yeah, let's see if we can find a trade here tomorrow. So this is a bit of an interesting spot we're in here. We're rejecting off of this big bearish 4 hour, and we inverted this daily, but that doesn't really play too much into my bias because we're now inside of a higher daily gap. Looks like we just came up and hit equilibrium there. So to be honest, leaning kind of bearish, right? We invert this 4 hour, kind of expecting to see this 4 hour get filled. Looks like that's going to match up relatively well with equilibrium. Yeah, so kind of expecting us to hit this 4 hour and then maybe move higher, but we are inside of a bullish 4 hour, so a bit of an odd place to trade here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love trading on a day like this, right? Because it's just, you know, if I want a long, I'm going to be inside of this 4 hour gap.
There's a bunch of PDRAs being respected, right? That's what you mean, or no? Like, there's from the top and the bottom, they're both being respected and respected, or because on a daily,
well, yeah,
the other one is respected.
Yeah, right. So the daily time frame to me looks, it's honestly the same thing on the daily time frame, right? Like we just inverted this daily and now we're respecting this daily, which is fine. That makes me lean bearish. But on the 4 hour, what I'm saying is if I take a trade right now, right, if I'm trying to, I can't really take a short, because even if we invert this gap, we're going to be inside of this gap. So really, even though I'm leaning bearish today, like there's no ideal way for me to take a short unless it's like a continuation short. So I would say today ideal setup would be come down, hit this 4 hour, and take a long to this unfilled 4 hour above. But again, it's kind of just, I just got to see what price does and see if we can find a solid setup or not, right? We have an unfilled 1 hour gap here as well. So I'm always just going to mark out all these unfilled gaps, session highs and lows here, right? We have Asian session previous day and London session highs all above. So yeah, to be honest, I'd probably look for a long today because we're inside of bullish 4 hour gaps, but I would want us and kind of expect us to move down first before moving higher. Yeah, so that's what we're seeing so far today. We got this bearish 15-minute gap above as well, so we will mark that out. And you might notice I'm marking out all these gaps. I'm marking out the intermediate highs, right? Because if we're going to reject off this gap again, I would expect us to sweep this high before moving lower.
What's the intermediate high?
Just a high or low inside of a fair value gap.
Oh, okay, because a 15-minute high right there in the 15-minute bearish fair value gap.
That's why I'm marking. That's why I'm marking out the 15-minute there. If we're gonna reject off of this, I wouldn't take an entry off of, you know, for example, see if we can find a higher time frame example. For example, right now we're inside of this 4 hour, this bullish 4 hour gap. So if I want to take a long off this, I want to see us come down first and sweep the internal low and then move higher, right? Yeah. So if I mark out, I guess I will mark this one out as well. This bullish 4 hour gap, I'm gonna mark it out down there, right, where you see we have this intermediate or internal low. So I would expect, like, if we're going to reject off this, and if I'm going to use it as a high time frame key level, I want to see us resweep this low before rejecting off the 4 hour, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting it.
Yeah, it's just like if there's a high or low inside of a gap, I don't want to trade off of that gap unless we sweep the higher low. Because
in that way, it could go either way. That's why. So the higher probability is we wait for a sweep and then we could target the other side, something like that.
Well, it adds probability, but also like additionally, like a fair value gap is, as like it's, you know, a very straightforward term. It's when there's a gap in fair value in the market because there was such a strong move in one direction. So from here to here, the fair value has been restored, right? Like orders have been filled here. Yeah. But up here, there's still a unfilled portion of this fair value gap. So this is still a key level of rejection. But if we just retrace into an area that we've already rejected off of without sweeping the high, then I'm not going to trade off of that person.
Yeah, I'm confused, but I'm still getting there.
Well, just look, like right here, we've now swept this high, and now we're inside of a part of this 15-minute gap that we have not been, that this part has not been filled yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see that. Yes. I think. Thank you for
explaining. Just look
at
the 1 minute. Yeah, if you look at the 1 minute here, like we come up and hit the 15-minute gap. Like I'm not going to take a short when we like come back up to here, even though we're technically inside of the 15-minute gap. We're below this high, right? We've already filled the fair value on this move up. So I don't want to take a short unless we resweep this high, right? It just adds confluence to the trade, right? And you also get a internal liquidity sweep there. But yeah, we'll see. This is kind of an interesting day. But the other thing, we could take a short maybe to this internal low, but you know, it's just not a super. There's some solid low resistance liquidity here. So I don't know. This is kind
How do
of, again,
you
not.
identify an internal liquidity sweep? Because you're in that fair value gap, and then you sweep that. Which parts do you say is a liquidity sweep? Because that's still something that I struggle with.
All right, so yeah, I mean, a liquidity sweep is literally just sweeping out a high or a low. So like you can really find them all over the place. Like this right here is a liquidity sweep, but this is just an internal high, right? It's not very significant, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like this right here would be like an external high, or this is an external high.
Oh, okay, I
Right,
see.
just higher time frame. Yeah. So, right here we open and create a bullish SMT with ES. All right, we sweep out this low on ES, not on NQ, and now we're back inside of this 15-minute gap. So, yeah, looking like we're gonna move higher. We'll see if we can invert this 15-minute gap. Maybe we can catch a continuation long up to the unfilled 4-hour up here. Otherwise, we will have to figure something else out, I guess. But yeah, if we're gonna hit that 4-hour high, I would love to see this bearish 15-minute gap get inverted, but we will see. It's still very small 5-minute gap. We might open in a minute. Looks like we just did. So we have a really small, get rid of this, really small bullish 5-minute gap here. If we can retrace into that, I would not mind. Taking along here, right? We have relative equal highs here, and we have an unfilled 4-hour above. So, and we are rejecting off of this bullish 4-hour. So if we can retrace into this 5-minute and get an inversion out of it.
How do you feel about those small gaps? Because I see how like the 5 minutes is so small. That's why. Like I don't know how much it can be respected like that. You see?
I mean, a gap is a gap, right? Like a bigger gap would be more would be a little more ideal, but you know, a gap is a gap. So if we get a rejection off of this and get a clean inverse and clear displacement, this would be a solid setup.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see. It looks like 3-minute is gonna be the highest time frame here. So this candle is going. Yeah, we gotta wait for this candle to close and see if we get an inversion. All right. So 3-minute inverts there.
So how'd you find
Looks
this
like
entry?
we do have an. Well, I'll go over that right now.
Okay,
So
okay, it's my bad.
this would be. No, you're good. You're good. This would be actually, never mind. I take it back. We inverted this 5-minute gap, so no entry here because we inverted the gap we were rejecting off of. If we hadn't inverted that, it would be a solid entry, right? We have a bullish SMT and we have the unfilled 4-hour above, but no entry there because we rejected that. Right now, price looks pretty choppy, anyways. So I kind of would not love to take a trade here, and we inverted the 5-minute gap. So either way, no entry there. We're building up some low resistance liquidity on the downside, so might be able to catch a short. But yeah, to be honest, I probably should not be doing a back test in January right now to give you good examples, because January usually has pretty rough price action. Like you can see, we're not doing anything today.
Yeah,
But
how'd you feel
see.
about
We might be
August? Because I've seen a lot of traders talk about how it was like pretty bad. How do you feel about that from your perspective as someone that's been trading?
honestly, I don't really agree. I think price action's been really good for the last few months, but I mean, I think realistically you can't blame price action. Like, you need to adapt to market conditions, and you should be able to make money in any market condition as long as you are like a profitable trader, right? And that includes not taking a trade on certain days. But if you have a solid strategy and you can execute it properly, like, you should be able to find a setup at least a few times a week. So
Yeah, I like that answer.
yeah, I don't personally agree with that, and I don't think blaming price action is ever a valid thing to say if you lose a trade, because if price action was bad, then you shouldn't be taking a trade, which is why we haven't taken a trade yet. But we'll see. We're creating an SMT at these internal highs with ES, and ES is rejecting off of a bearish 15-minute gap. So if we get a clean inversion to the downside here, we might have a solid entry. We are tiny little 4-minute in there. No 5-minute. So I need to wait for this 4-minute to invert. If we get a clean inversion like we do there, we'd have a pretty solid setup. So there is an SMT here, so our stop loss would have to go at the wick.
So those that 4-minute to the left, is that big? It's wicking into the fair value gap, and then it's like respecting it. Or what time frame were you on?
The 4-minute. Here, I'll go over this trade right now, and then
Okay,
we'll execute it and see how it plays out. Essentially, if we go on the 15-minute time frame, zoom in a little bit here and look at ES, right? ES is rejecting this 15-minute,
Yeah.
which is a high time frame level, right? ES rejecting the 15-minute and also rejecting a bearish hourly gap. So that's our high time frame key level there. And then we also have an SMT, right? So these highs have not been taken out on NQ, but ES did take them out. You can see here. So bearish SMT, and then we have this low resistance liquidity below, as well as unfilled gaps way below. So some pretty valid bearish draws in liquidity, especially this 1-minute low resistance liquidity looks really to target, right? And then we're just waiting. I'm just waiting for I enter off of inverse fair value gap, so I'm waiting for the highest time frame between 1 and 5 inverse fair value gap on this leg up that caused the SMT. So in this case, that was the 4-minute, right? You can see there's a really small gap in there.
Yeah, I see that.
So forming and just close. So that's what we would enter off of. Because there's an SMT, I'd put my stop at the wick, as opposed to the body, and take profit here. I would actually put my take profit at this internal low, just because this 4-hour low, this is a low inside of a high time frame key level, right? This is a low inside of the 4-hour gap, and this is the low resistance liquidity I'm expecting to see hit. So we definitely could hit this again, but my target here is this low resistance liquidity. So that's where our take profit's going to be. I probably would not have a break-even point on this trade. A lot of trades I have a break-even point.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that for this one, but
yeah, for this trade there really wouldn't be one, because there's really nothing in the way of our draw on liquidity here, just low resistance liquidity. So the way I would play this, just because ES is the leading index here, like you can see it's moving, it's lower than NQ is right now, is I would just go break even when ES hits this internal low, and then hopefully our take profit gets hit. So we'll place this order here. Yeah, so I risk around 350 per trade. If 350 is the most I would risk per trade. So if I'm actually executing a live trade here, it's not on, NAS 100, like on NQ, where I have to use actual contracts.
yeah.
I would risk 350 at most, and if it has to be less than that, then it will be. So, like sometimes you might have to risk like 330 versus 370. I would risk 330. To be honest, I would recommend risking like maybe closer to like 250 on a 50K funded.
Yeah.
For most, but the Apex accounts have 2,500 drawdown. A lot of 50K accounts only have 2,000, so I'm comfortable risking a little more, and my win rate has been pretty high, like between 75 to 85%. Last few months it's been right around 80, so hasn't been an issue at all. But yeah, so this is the trade. We'd go break even at the internal low on ES, and that trade's gonna get stopped out there. So that's unfortunate, but that happens, and there's nothing we can do about that. So.
And that's the thing about practicing patience, right? Or no? Like, it's okay if you lose, right? Or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's totally okay. Losses happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. So to me, honestly, this looks like a relatively valid setup, and I don't have a problem taking it, and it just happens sometimes. So there's a loss on the day. My personal rules are, if I take a loss or a break even, I'm willing to take one more trade. But usually if I take a win, I'm just gonna be done for the day, just happy with my profit. So we'll see if we can find we'll see if we can find a second entry on the day. If not, then that's that, and we'll just have a loss in the day. Shit happens, but we'll see. So we might just come up and resweep these highs and then move lower. Looks like we just wanted to hit this 4-hour instead. So we hit the unfilled 4-hour gap now. See if we can get a rejection off of it. If not, it's just going to be a loss on the day. Jeez, I hate days like this where I hate when we hit a high time key level and we don't reverse. We can go. I honestly like this entry, like a pretty solid amount. But shit happens. You can't have a win every day. So looks like we are most likely not reversing off of this. We might be waiting to hit this 1 hour. I don't honestly like that we did not hit this 1 hour. We'll see. See if we hit it on ES. Yeah, we didn't. So I don't know. I don't love this. The fact that we got so close to hitting this 1 hour gap and didn't hit it. We'll see. I think, and we're inside of a bullish 5-minute gap anyways. So I wouldn't take this trade like a short here, but honestly I would definitely be willing to take a long back up to this 1 hour gap if we can reject off of one of these bullish 5-minute gaps. So we'll see what happens there. But if we can get a bullish inversion out of one of these 5-minute gaps, that would be great. So we hit the lower gap now. See if we can get an inversion to the upside. So it would have to be this 5 minute. So we'll see if we invert. We do.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, though, we might have hit this draw already. Let's see.
On ES, it did. Right. So there's no fair value gap on ES. How do you change it? Or
nah, there is. It's just all the way up here.
Oh, okay. I was a little confused.
Yeah. So honestly, though, I think this is still a valid entry. There's no SMT here, so my stops would be at these bodies. We'll see though. I need to see. I don't love that we are almost at this 1 hour and we're inside of a bearish 4 hour. So probably would not take this trade and would just be done for the day. But at the same time, with session highs and lows above, I honestly think this would be a pretty solid entry. Let me look at the 15 minute. Yeah, I don't know. It would have been a good trade. It's just the issue is the break even point would be this 1 hour gap, which we are almost at. So we'll see what happens. Like, I would have loved a better close. I probably would still take this in the live markets, but it would almost definitely be a break even. Yeah, you're right there. We hit our break even point. So break even trade, nothing you can do there. So we can go over one more day quickly, hopefully find an actual real good setup.
Yeah.
These have been some unfortunate days. Yeah, I mean, it's just that's just how it goes. I feel like in my personal experience, I feel like price action tends to be better kind of in the middle of the year, and then like like November, December, January, February seem to be, especially January, always seem to be a little bit worse in my personal opinion. But today, I would definitely be leaning relatively. I don't know. Honestly, kind of a split bias here. I want to be bullish because we're moving up so much, but I definitely could see us rejecting this 4 hour and daily and coming back and hitting this unfilled 4 hour, especially because we just inverted these 1 hourly gaps, and we have relative equal lows at these lows. So personally today, honestly, I think a short would be pretty valid if we could maybe come up and hit this 1 hour gap and take a short back to these relative equal lows.
Do you count inversions like that too, or no? Because I know that like Patty and Blake, their inversions, like, because I follow their inversion. Like, even though like there's like 3 bodies, I'll still take that inversion.
What do you mean?
Hold on, let me screenshot. Oh, right here. Okay. Something like this will still be an inversion.
What do you mean, like a short or a long?
Like, no, just like inversions in general,
I'm not sure what you mean.
or something like this. Like, if you wanna
Acting?
like a bullish inverse, like it'd go like this as well. Like, even though like it wicked out, it's they'd still take it like this.
Take it like what? Take the short?
Yeah, like take like they'd mark out the this fair value gap as an inverse, like that, like what I've seen before.
To take a short off of, you mean? Like to
Yeah.
reject off of it as if it were?
Yeah, like that. My bad if I explained it wrong, but
Yeah, I don't really trade like that. I don't like using inverse fair value gaps as rejection points personally. I only use fair value gaps as rejection points. But I mean, it's something you can do it. I know plenty of people who do it. I just don't like it, and in my personal experience, it's had a bit of a lower probability. But it definitely works. Definitely something you can do if you're interested.
Yeah, that's all I was trying to ask you, because I didn't know if you, because I know you use inverses as a way to mark your entries, but I don't know if you use that also as a rejection.
Yeah, not really, honestly. Yeah, I don't know, just not my thing. But we'll see. This looks like it would be a really good setup if we get an open high, which is exactly what we do. So if we can get an inversion out of this would be a great setup. We'll see though. Looks like we are just fucking consolidating right now, which is never fun. Happy January. I love this price action. Yeah, I guess we would just have to invert this 5 minutes.
So for your inversions, do you have to make are yours like clear cut inversions, like they actually have to have like gaps in it? Is that how you take yours, or what? Or
what do you mean?
How would I do this? Like it actually need to be like clear, like if you can look at my screenshot, like something like this, like it actually be like clear and cut. Like
you
like
you just move through the gap?
Yeah, there's no like wicking in or like a bunch of bodies, like just like this, like just clean.
Yeah, I mean that's more ideal, right? Like a V-shaped reaction and like displacing through a gap. But
Yeah.
At the same time, like this right here is still very clear displacement to me and a clean inversion. So I may take this. The one thing is it 7 a.m. yet? No, I mean, I think what I would wait for here to take a trade is we're inside of I think it was a 15 minute? Yeah, inside of a bullish 15 minute. So we'll basically just wait for that to invert, and it doesn't. So that's why I wouldn't take that trade, because we're rejecting off of a bullish 15 minute. So we can go through the day again today, but yeah, to be honest, January is brutal. Like this month in January, I was still profitable, but January was my worst month of the year by like a solid amount, because there's so many days I just didn't trade. Hold on, there might be. All right, I'm not gonna lie, this would actually be an all right. Yeah, okay. So I think right here, this is a trade I actually would take, and a pretty solid setup. So this would be a continuation model, right? You see, we just barely come up and reject off of this bearish 5 minute gap, and we're moving lower, and we get an inverse out of that, right? So we retrace it into a 5 minute and invert this bullish 1 minute as we reject that, right? You see that?
Yeah, I see that.
So that's a simple continuation model there. I think I personally first found out about that from a TJR video, but I'm pretty sure that's like very similar, if not the exact same thing that you might hear Blake talk about.
About what again?
A continuation model, right? Just like a pulling back into a 5 minute, like leave your draw on liquidity, pull back into a 5 minute, and then inverse out of it. So the draw on liquidity here would be these relative equal highs, or lows, I mean, right? And as you can see on the 1 hour time frame, so pretty simple trade here. 1 minute inverse, break even point would be the internal low. ES also has equal lows down there, so pretty strong draw on liquidity. I like this setup more, but again, you never know what's going to happen in the market. So,
Oh, nice.
but that's a very easy trade. It didn't fill my take profit. I don't know why. So hopefully it does. But all right, there we go. So yeah, that's a super simple trade. Again.
Now, do you leave runners or no? How do you feel about runners?
No. I mean, I don't hate the idea. I think like for certain strategies it can work, and if you have like a high risk to reward strategy, you know, like to be honest, there's a lot of different ways you can make money trading. A lot of strategies. Smart money concepts isn't even the only thing, but even inside of smart money concepts, there's tons of strategies and ways people trade. So like if it works for you and it's profitable for you and it's better than everything else you've tried, like go for it. Like I'm not the smartest trader in the world. I'm not the only person who has a winning strategy, but yeah. Despite that, I do think that runners are not necessarily a good idea in most scenarios, especially if you're trading anything like this. And the reason being is my target was these relative equal lows, right? Specifically this low. And so that's my draw on liquidity, right? The reason I think we're moving down here is to take out this low. This is a low we could definitely reject off of, right? Like we're creating an SMT at this low with ES, and this is a high time frame swing low. We could absolutely reject off of this, right? Like we look very bullish overall on like the daily, right?
Yeah.
4 hour. We could definitely reject off of this. So there's no reason for me to leave runners because yeah, maybe this 4 hour will get hit. Like, I mean, we'll see. But in this scenario, it didn't. So I played this. I mean, look at that. I played that as well as I could have. My profit was perfect. But at the same time, there will be situations where it will hit your take profit and it will dump another 200 points. And the way you should look at that is not, oh, fuck, I should have left runners. Like, why didn't I do that? It should be, that was a great trade. My bias was correct. I knew we were moving down and we fucking dumped. You should take, like, that should be a good thing to you, right?
Yeah, that's what I love about your mindset. Like, you have this, like, clear-cut mindset, like, patience, and then, like, take your profits when you can. That's what I just like.
Seriously, like, you just need your piece of the pie, right? Like if I can get I never get less than a 1-to-1 risk reward, but like this is a 1.16 risk reward. That's plenty for me. I don't need anything more than that, because if I were to target this 4 hour, right, still a valid draw on the, and maybe go break even here instead. What's gonna happen is we're gonna hit my break even, or maybe I don't even run a break even, and we take a loss, and I'm gonna say, fuck, why didn't I just take profit here, right? So even though there might be scenarios where you could have, in theory, made more money if you targeted way lower, right?
Yeah.
One, you're going to be, that's going to bite you in the ass when it doesn't dump 200 points and you could have hit your take profit. And two, that's a lot harder on you psychologically, right? Like it's very difficult to watch a trade go 100 points into profit and you're up like $1,000 and then watch it run all the way back to your stop loss without closing it early or doing something to break your rules, right? This strategy is very, very easy to follow your rules with, right? Especially when you have a valid break-even point, which here would be the swing low, right? As soon as we either are going to hit my stop loss or my break-even point, and once one of those things hit, there's nothing else to do, right? Either my stop loss hits and the trade over, or my break-even point hits. I put my stop loss at break-even, and I just don't touch the trade. I don't care if we get one tick away from my take profit and start reversing. You just sit there, and you have to just be disciplined. And there might be some trade. I mean, bro, it hasn't happened in a few months, but I've had multiple trades in my lifetime that came one tick away from hitting my take profit and ended up reversing for a loss or a break even. But I'm not going to close my trade early because it's just breaking the rules. And even though you might say like it doesn't really matter, like let me just take my profit, like it's not a big deal, that starts to build up over time, right? And then you're like, all right, I'm 2 points away from my take profit, maybe I should just close here, like I don't want us to reverse. And it starts getting in your head, and then you're going to start extending your stop loss and going break even too early, and all these habits that you don't want to build. So following your rules is by far the most important thing you can do with trading, because I could teach literally anyone the setups I trade, the model I trade. Like this is super simple. I could explain someone what a fair value gap is in 10 minutes and show them, if my shit will load, that we rejected off a fair value gap and we have a low that we're targeting, right? Like it's super simple. This setup and strategy overall is not complex at all, but it's only going to be profitable if you actually follow the setup and follow the rules, right? You can backtest and you will be profitable on backtest, but if you hop in the live markets and start doing things differently than how you did them when you were backtesting, you're now lowering your probability of making.
I mean, if you'd really want to, we could make a video on that. I start going off your strategy, and then I could do a road to funded or profitable episode, or like if you want to do that, we could do that as well. I just need to learn your strategy.
I would be
But
happy to.
what
Yeah, I would be happy.
I had this idea before. What do you do on your combines? Do you rush them or do you still take your time with like on your fundeds? Because I'm on a combine right now, and I've been like 700 in profit, and then it reversed all the way down to my stop loss, and I just blow my account after that because I'd revenge trade. So how do you deal with that, like combine?
I'll account, you mean? Isn't
Uh,
that combine's a top step of that?
oh yeah, I just call them the same
Like
thing.
before.
The evas, yeah. I just call them the same thing.
Yeah. I've done it in two different ways. Now that I have made enough money from trading, where like I can afford to blow an account, right? Like it doesn't like I don't like there when I was first starting trading, I could afford one account, right? Like I would wait for a 90% off Apex sale and spend $18 on a funded eval,
Yeah.
and that was enough money to me that I didn't want to lose it, right? So I wasn't gonna full port. So I would just trade that like a normal account, right? I would risk like 250 to 350 per trade, and try and be consistent and make $3,000 to pass a trade. I always trade 50Ks. I just always have. I like the the drawdown to profit ratio and shit like that. So, but that goes for any account size. So that's the way I used to do it. And then when I started scaling up, I did it the same way, right? Like after I got my first payout on 150K, I spent like $300 or $400 to get 4 more accounts, and so I had 5 total, and I was copy trading them all. And I did the exact same thing, right? Like I traded them all the exact same way as if they were all a live account, because it was the same thing. Like I had just made my first payout. I pulled out $2,000. That was like all the money I had, right? So I wasn't willing, or didn't have enough money to spend 400 on funded accounts and full port it, because if I lost that trade, that was almost half of my money at the time. So I traded them the same way, right? And then I ended up passing all 4 of those accounts and getting another payout on my live account. So then I had 5 funded accounts, and had just gotten a second payout of $2,000, and I ended up buying 5 more. So then I had 5 live accounts and 5 more eval, and I did the exact same thing one more time, right? I traded them all as if they were a live account, risking 250 to 350 per trade, whatever, and it ended up working out. So I got another $4,000 payout, and then, or no, sorry, that was I think a $10,000 payout, my first $10,000 payout when I had 5 accounts. And then I had 10 live accounts. So I originally had 1, and I bought 4 more, and then I bought 5 more, and I eventually passed them all. So I had 10 funded accounts at that point. And that's when I changed that up. I don't have, those were all with Apex, and then Apex started denying my payouts eventually.
Yeah, I've heard of that before.
Yeah, they're known for doing that sometimes. And I just didn't really want to deal with that or worry about that, right? Once I started making like enough money for it to be like important. So I still have like a couple Apex accounts, but now I primarily trade with Tradeify and Alpha Futures. So I ended up buying more accounts with them, and those accounts I manage differently, right? Because by then I had made enough from trading where a couple $100, like I'm willing to lose that in order to pass the funded accounts quicker, because I know that like my time trading was more valuable than that $100, because the sooner I can pass it, I'll be able to have a payout on that. So at that point, I was pretty much full porting those accounts. Not trading any differently, but it would just be like I would just take one trade and risk the whole account. So if it was a win, I'd pass. If it was a lose, I'd fail. And I only had to do that one time, and I ended up winning the trade, so it didn't matter. But if I lost the trade, I was just going to repeat that process however many times, 2, 3, 4 times until I passed the account. Because this is such a high win rate strategy, I almost never take more than 2 losses in a row. I think this year I've only taken 3 losses in a row one time. And like in the last month, I only have 1 red day overall. I've taken like, I think 2 to 3 losses in the last month. 2 of my 3 losses, I ended up making back on a second trade on that day. So essentially my thought process there was I have enough, enough money at that point where I'm able to full port these accounts. And I know that it's only going to cost me at most, like I might only have to, I wouldn't have to buy more than like 2 or 3 of them to be able to pass them all. So that's a long answer, but to put it simply, if you have enough money and are confident enough in your model and your win rate, then I don't think there's anything wrong with full porting them just to pass them faster and be able to get to a payout sooner. But for your first funded accounts and when you have less money, I would recommend trying to pass them normally.
And
like I really would
give me a second here.
doing that.
My bad for interrupting you. I had these thoughts in my head before everything goes away. So do you think trading those Apex accounts when you're low on funds really helped you build build up. What is it? What's the word? Make sure like it's instilled in you that you don't blow your account. Like you follow your rules better. Do you think that made you more disciplined in your rules? I mean,
To be honest, the way I looked at it and like tried to think about it was that it was like it was no different to me, right? Like I was just I copy shitted all my accounts off of my live account, and I just acted like those 4 evals didn't even exist, right? I was just trading as if I had one account. I didn't change anything. I had just gotten a payout. I knew my strategy worked. That was that, right? Like I was just not even thinking about it. But I do think it helped, right? Like your first payout, you get more confidence off of that, and then passing those 4 evals got me more confidence. But really, the main reason that I did it like that was because I couldn't afford to blow those accounts, right? Like I didn't want to have to spend more money on funded accounts.
yeah.
So it was really just helping me build up capital and scale my trading to 5 accounts, right, at 5x your profit. But yeah, that's still a good way to look at it, right? Like it's also you want to be able to just trade normally and not full port your accounts. The only reason that I would do that now and did do that at one time was because at that point I knew, like, you never know, but I was almost 100% confident due to the win rate I had been consistently having for months and months that I would pass those accounts within like 2 to 3 to 4 weeks. But then that would just take that much longer for me to start getting payouts on them. So I knew it was more worth my time and money at that point to just full port them, take a win or take a loss and do it again, and then have all the accounts pass and be able to get a payout sooner on them, which is then what I did. And now I've been trading with those accounts since. So I think right now I have, I want to say 12 accounts, maybe something like that. But a few of them are on Apex still, and they have denied like some of my payouts. I got one from them recently, but it's just they're a little more kind of petty on that type of stuff, and it's just like you have like every payout request that I send them, I'm not sure if they're going to approve it or not, which is just an annoying thing to deal with. So that's why I'm kind of switching away from them. But yeah.
How do you think money like mentally affected you when it started rolling in and you started getting all those payouts? Did you so are you in school still or no?
Yeah, I am, because I'm only 18. I don't know. I don't think it like changed my life or anything, but it has been helpful, and I do think down the line it may enable me to not have to work a normal job and do all that. But I'm still planning on going to college, and I'm not going to I'm definitely all in on trading, right? Like I trade very consistently.
Yeah.
I've made definitely a substantial amount of money from it now, and it's I love it. Like I was able to get myself a car and a bunch
Did
of
you go
fun
lavish
shit
or
and do a
what,
bunch.
what kind of car?
Yeah, I have a M4.
Yeah, I knew it was just gonna be a boom. I had the idea in my head. Everybody's first few payouts, they just get a M4 or whatever.
Yeah, I got one in matte black. I love that. Yeah, so that's been cool, but I don't know. I think I've always been confident in myself ever since I started learning about this. It would work out eventually. So like mentally, I was kind of already there. Like I was like delusional almost. Like I was like, yeah, like I know I'm gonna make money with this. Like I know this is going to be what's gonna help me make money over the next couple of years. So like when that started happening, it wasn't like a realization to me. Like I wasn't like, oh damn, like I can actually make money with this. Like I had been thinking like that already for like a year or two. So I don't think it actually changed me that much at the time, and I still think I'm really the same person. But it's obviously nice, and it's definitely helping me with my future significantly, and I'm very grateful for that. So
Yeah, that's great.
I plan to trading for a long time, and been investing in long-term things. But yeah, I am still planning to go to college, even if it's just for fun, and see where we go from there, because you never know, right? Like I don't see trading going away from me, and the markets are definitely going nowhere, but I'm not gonna just skip college and go all in on this and risk messing things up. So yeah, but I think it's been a good thing for me. It's taught me a lot of things. It's helped me meet a lot of people. It's helped me with discipline and lots of things in life. So I think it's a great skill to have, and it's definitely had a much bigger effect on me than just the money that can come with it.
Hey, earlier you mentioned that you run. Did running help your discipline, or did trading help your discipline with running, or what helped each other?
Yeah, honestly, I do think that trading it's definitely made me more disciplined just on the charts, but I think it's just kind of like it's just changed my outlook on life a little bit. Like I love the fact that it's first thing in the morning, right? I wake up around like 6 or 6:15, give myself time to shower, and then, you know, look at the charts for 10 to 15 minutes, figure out my outlook for the day, and just be prepared and awake to trade. Then I trade up until, and then I have the whole day ahead of me, right? So I really like that. I think it's great. It forces you to wake up early in the morning. It forces you to get enough sleep every night. And then you have the whole day ahead of you, and you've made your money, and you don't have to worry about going to work and job. And it has, I think, I've always been like an active person, but I think it has inspired me even more to want to go do things like that, right? Because, you know, I look at it like this, honestly, is like I've made my money for the day, or maybe I've lost my money, but either way, like I have, you know, worked, quote unquote, for the day. I'm up now, it's 8 a.m. Well, I might as well go do something, right? So I love to go on like a run in the morning or go to the gym in the morning. It's just, I think it's just a great way to kickstart your day, and taking that, even if you lose money, taking that mental win of knowing you followed your rules, knowing you did what you should have done, and that you are making progress in your personal journey, makes you want to just like attack the day, right? You want to go on a run, you want to go to the gym, you want to go see your friends, you want to go help someone with something, that type of thing. You want to go, you know, pass your tests in school or whatever it is. Yeah, I think it's honestly just made me like a more like disciplined and focused person in life in general. And one of those effects has been, yeah, like I think you kind of get like when you're running, even though it sucks, it also kind of doesn't, right? Because you, at the end of your run, you're like, damn, I just went on a run, like I feel great right now, I know that was good for myself. Same thing with trading, right? Like kind of sucks. No one wants to be up at 6:30 in the morning. You might lose money, you might sit there for an hour and a half and have no trade, but at the end of it, if you do follow your rules, make money, lose money, whatever happens, you know, obviously it's a little nicer to make money, but either way, if you're looking at trading the right way, it should be, damn, like I woke up on time, I followed my rules, I was locked in, no distractions, I executed the way I should have, and I trust my strategy. I'm going to make money over time with this. I know I'm doing the right things. It's the same idea, right? You go on a run, you know you're doing something good for yourself. You know it sucked, you maybe didn't want to do it, but a week from now, if you've been running 4 days in the week, you're going to be glad you did it. So yeah, I definitely think it's helped me build discipline in life, and running has been one of the side effects.
I like those thoughts. I think this can be the end of the interview for this, and I'm glad that you took your time out, a whole hour. This is gonna be edited down, but I'm glad that you took your time to back test and talk to me and interview you about like some questions about your trading.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Obviously, 1-1 in the back test, and nothing crazy there, but yeah, I guess January just isn't my month. But you know, gotta just stay consistent, follow your rules. That's what you gotta do.
All right, thank you for that. I'm gonna end the recording right here. So if you'd like to say bye to
Cool.
the YouTube.
Yeah, see y'all. Drop a like, subscribe. Shout out my boy Gambling Trades.
All right, thank you.